The instructional strategy that I chose to talk about today is something called task cards. Now, normally I do task cards through Schoology, but you can use any other kind of website or resource that lets you create tests or quizzes or things like that. But I like to use Schoology because I'm familiar with it and it lets me organize things. So like all the students are put in different courses depending on if they're first period, second period, or so forth. And in their courses, once they pull that up, there's different folders. So I either have folders by domains like geometry and expressions or equations, or you can do it by units depending on how your curriculum's organized. This is just an example, so I just have a geometry folder up there right now. I don't have anything else, but the students would each have their own account, so they'll click on it, and if you're working in geometry, you can tell them, all right, get in the geometry folder, we're going to do some task cards. So they pull that up and all their task cards are here. I use task cards to basically review things, like right before an assessment. Sometimes they'll use the task cards to review concepts or even to practice, like at the end of a lesson, if you taught them how to find area and you want to give them a little bit of extra practice with it, instead of giving them like a worksheet or having them do it out of the book, they can do task cards. And the reason why I really like using the task cards is you can set it up so that they have multiple chances to solve it. So the way that I structure it with the students is that they have 3 opportunities to answer the question. So I'll tell them, all right guys, here's how it works. You click on a task card and your very first attempt, you're working by yourself. You can use your notes if you need to. You can use your graphic organizer. If you want to look at something in the book or an anchor chart, you can do that, but you're working independently. It's just you on this task card. Now, if they get the answer wrong, the task card will tell them they're wrong, but it won't tell them what the right answer is. So then, on your second attempt, after you've already gotten it wrong by yourself, you ask your partner for help. Now, if you're a partner and you're helping somebody, you're not giving them the answer. So you might be on task card 5 and they're on task card 3, so you already know what that answer is. If they ask you for help, you don't just show them the answer you put in and move on with your life. You're actually trying to help them figure it out. So you can ask them guiding questions, you can give them hints, you can kind of work with them, but the point is for them to figure it out. You almost have to think like the teacher. You're trying to teach them how to do it, not do it for them. So if the two of you working together are still unable to get it correct, you come up with an answer, you put it in, it still tells you you're wrong, then you're going to ask me for help. So on that third attempt, every single person, if you get to the third attempt, should be asking the teacher for help. And I'll come over, we'll look at it, we'll figure it out, and we'll get you on your way. That means that by the third attempt, every single person should have every single task card correct. If you move on and you do it without me and you get it wrong, I'm going to look at it and see it, and then we're going to have to go back and have a conversation about it. So just make sure that if you and your partner both get it wrong on that second attempt, that you ask me for help. So again, part of the reason that I really like the task cards so much is that the students get to work independently, but if they need to, they can collaborate. They get multiple attempts to do it, so it's not just, oops, I got it wrong, whatever, but they have to actually sit down and look at their mistakes and figure out what they did wrong, how to do it right. They get to use their notes and their resources to help them figure it out, so it's a good way to kind of show them how to use that. A lot of students, I think, take notes and then they don't know how to apply them, so the task cards let them do that. But the task cards, at least on Schoology, are fully editable. You can put pictures in, so I'll show you a couple of them that I did. This is kind of what the student will see. It's not exactly the student view, but then they type their answer in and submit it. It will show them their previous answer so they can see, like, I got it wrong, what is it that I put? But like I said, sometimes the answer, depending on how they put the units in, is wrong, so sometimes you have to give them instructions about how you want the answer in. But I've seen a lot of engagement using task cards. I've seen a lot of students actually working together and helping each other. For me, I think this instructional strategy is awesome, especially for older kids. It lets them use technology, it lets them get extra practice, it lets them work independent or together if they need to. And the students who just are like solid in it and know what they're doing and they can race through it, finish quickly, never need more than one attempt for a question, I can either create challenge task cards to push them, or I can use them to kind of walk around as like peer tutors and help people who might be struggling. Because depending on the partner pairs, some partners, neither one of them might be able to figure it out and they need a little extra help. And if there's more of that going on than I can address, some of the students who whip through it and get it done correctly and quickly can also be used to help out. So it's a great instructional strategy. I use it as often as I can. I love doing it, and it's been very successful for my students.